weekend best. Now, I am so glad to be back here after my forced week off, but sadly, things aren't back to normal just yet, because now Roman has to isolate. So I've asked Shivi to step in from out of the kitchen to help me out today. Right? How'd you like Rose's chair?
Do you know
Comfortable?
what? I am so happy to be in this chair. It's so cosy.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm still going to be dragging you into that kitchen for the last dish of the series.
What are we cooking then?
Do you know what? I was thinking we have to go out with a big bang and something sweet and lovely like a delicious pavlova, perhaps?
Pavlova, that is my favourite, I'll tell you that. But sadly, this is our last Saturday show of the series. I know. So we're going to make the most of hanging out with you guys by just bringing you some brilliant guests. Shiv?
Thank you, Martin. Anyway, now you can say what you want about our next guest because she always brings out the inner smile. It's Sharleen Spiteri.
Yeah, I like that. I see what you did there. That was really funny. But, you know, I do the puns, usually.
Sorry, Martin.
I'm just saying. Now, everyone's talking about Jamie, and so are we. It's the real Jamie. It's Jamie Campbell. And as Roman's not here today, I get to kickstart the show for a change, right? Now, as always, we start the show with a music question. So which song was #1 back on this day in 2008?
Oh,
right, so what, Jamie, I'm going to come to you first, right? 2008, what you've got to do is think about where were you, summer of 2008. What were you listening to?
Probably rolling around a park drunk. I don't know. I don't. 2008. Is that like?
That's hard.
Rihanna, kind of. Only girl in the world, kind of.
That's a good call, though, Rihanna. I like that.
Red hair era. Loved all that.
I see that. Sharleen?
I'm thinking 2008. I'm kind of like going on a whole thing and going, what? I work out in how old my daughter was at that point.
That's right. Yeah.
So that's how I kind of do. I'm thinking, would it be Amy Winehouse by any chance?
Amy Winehouse. That's a really good call. I like that. Rihanna, Amy Winehouse. Shiv?
I'm sorry, Jamie, I'm going to have to jump off the back of you. I'm going Rihanna, but I'm going to go Umbrella. I'm going to raise it to Umbrella.
What, you're going specific title as well?
Yeah.
You don't get any more points for it, you know. You just
I'm going to
get-
be really upset that I've not got this right.
Okay.
Well, the answer is...
Okay, I wouldn't have got that. I mean, I know the
Kissed the
record.
Girl and I liked it. Katy Perry. It was her first single, which stayed at #1 for 5 weeks. Fans of the song started to throw chapsticks at Katy on stage because of the lyrics, taste of cherry chapstick, right? So what I want to know, what is the strangest thing a fan has ever given you? Jamie, let's start with you.
Oh, God.
There's got to be something here.
I don't know if they're appropriate for daytime TV,
That's
actually.
what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking.
Well, we can always put a beep under it.
Yeah, I
Just
mean,
for
I've had
us.
some very weird handwritten letters that were sent to my home address, which I have no idea how they managed to get my home
always
address,
find
but
out.
they did.
Don't they always find out?
It's always scary when they come to your home address. Always. It always freaks me out.
What? Like, how?
Could be your neighbours. They know where you live.
Don't start. No, I'm not going home now. Like, we're moving.
Yeah, I got a drawing once from a prisoner, a famous prisoner.
Right.
And it was posted to my home address. And when it came through the door, Shirley freaked out. How has he got our address?
That is pretty scary. It's
Yeah.
weird. The worst thing, I mean, the strangest thing I ever got sent was heroin.
Oh, God.
Yeah, which was
No.
really weird.
No.
And they were like, "You are my heroin," and sent me, and I was literally, "Oh my God," that was a weird one.
That is
Quite
weird.
poetic
That was-
when you think about it that way.
Yeah, but you know,
What did you do with it?
You know that thing, like, there was the little chicken in me came out and went, "Oh my God, get this out of the house." I went to bed, Charlie, I was like, "Oh my God."
That is weird. He's a drag artist who inspired a hit West End musical, and now his incredible story has been made into a movie. Everybody really is talking about Jamie Campbell. It's so lovely to have you. I've got to say, I'm a big fan. You know that.
Thanks for having me. I'm a big fan as well.
Oh, well, thank you.
You know, my mum and grandma had to say, you know, you get it all the time, but they love you. Like,
Can you...
I think you're all right as well, myself, you know.
You're embarrassing me now.
Oh, no, don't you stop.
Can you believe the success of the musical?
It's so mind-blowing, honestly. Just from like one little thing that I did 10 years ago, and it's just snowballed and snowballed over the years, and now it's a massive film. The production's gone international. It's currently playing in Japan. It's just been to South Korea, and it's going to LA in January. And I'm just like, what is going on?
I mean, like you said, it's 10 years ago, right? The documentary you're talking about, and then it's gone into a musical, and now it's the film. What can we expect from the film for people who haven't seen it?
Well, it's all very feel-good, and I would say for anyone who thinks, oh, I'm not too sure about that, there's a lot more to it than that. Like, the bare bones of it is, when I was 16, I went to prom in drag, and I was told if I turned up in drag, I wasn't going to get in. And then all the kids in my year, even the ones who I wasn't friends with, came out and said, if you don't let Jamie in, we're not going in. So that's basically the story. Spoilers, but I mean, there's a lot more that goes to it than that. It's not just wanting to be a boy in a dress. There's like relationships with me and my mum, which is really important in it. And I just think it's that kind of metaphor of just doing something that you want to do and not letting anybody stop you and going
do you know what? It's what I love about your story. It's about strength. It's about willpower and strength and overcoming all the obstacles, and I absolutely love that. I've got a clip from the movie. Let's have a look.
Be who you want to be. Mum, do you ever wish I were just normal?
No. And what's normal anyway?
Stop waiting for permission to be you.
If I don't say it enough, you're the best friend a boy who sometimes wants to be a girl could ever wish for.
Brilliant. That looks brilliant.
It looks absolutely brilliant.
I'm sold. I'm done. I want to go and see that already.
Oh, well, please do.
Did
Amazon Prime, September 17th.
Did you have a say in who was playing you?
I didn't know.
He really looks like you.
Well, yeah, they did a good job.
Yeah, I mean,
and
that's why I was like, I wondered.
So talented. He'd not even finished drama school. I think he was in his second year, and they did an open casting kind of thing. And they had thousands apply, and then Max Harwood got it. So he's very special, super talented, and I just can't believe everything he did on this. Like, being on set is just mind-blowing. Like, I thought it would be big, but actually being there and the scale of it all and the hundreds and hundreds of people running around doing everything and all of this pressure on his shoulders when he'd literally just not even finished drama school, and he handled it so well.
You know what? Sometimes that's a little bit easier. You know, when it's all new.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, when you think too much about things, it goes wonky, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
How much time did he spend with you, like?
A little bit of time, and he said he tried to like pick up and be very like honest with the interpretation. But it was like the first day filming. It was one of the times where Jamie gets into drag for the first time, and he was so nervous. And he came up to me and he was like, "Oh my God, Jamie, how were you feeling when you were doing this?" And I was like, yeah, exactly like this, so you're doing well. Right? But it was just nice seeing his confidence grow and blossom until like the end. And
wicked.
Oh, I can't wait. So, Jamie, tell me, why do you think this really resonates with people? Because obviously you've got your own personal story, but I find there must be other elements that people are drawn into and they could see themselves in it, perhaps?
Yeah, and I'm surprised by how many people do actually see themselves in it, because it is quite a niche thing, wanting to go to prom in drag. But I think it's just, like having that confidence to go and do something that you really want to do and not letting anyone stop you. And it's like the character of Jamie New isn't me 100%. It's sort of heavily inspired by me, but then there's a lot of Johnny B, the director, and the writers, and the different people that have played Jamie in it. So I think that's how it ends up being quite a universal story for a lot of gay people and non-gay people.
I guess it's that feel-good thread, isn't there, that you find something and you're thinking, it's, it's a quite scary initial concept of the story, but it ends obviously very happily, I think.
Yeah,
I feel well, obviously.
No spoilers, yeah.
But you came out when you were 14.
Yeah.
How do you think since then, do you think it's been easier for the LGBTQ plus community now?
In some ways, yes. We have seen a lot of progression with things, and there's a lot more conversations happening now. But I do a lot of work with different charities, especially LGBT charities, and there's a lot of kids that are still getting horrifically bullied. And it's not just in this country as well, it's all around the world. Like, there's so many countries around the world where it's just, like, illegal, and it's just so mind-blowing. And that's why I'm glad that this film and other things are going so wide. Like, we're releasing on Amazon Prime, and it's going to 220 countries or something.
That is amazing.
And I didn't even know there was that many countries in the world.
Can I just say as well, on my way over here to the studio, I saw 3 posters for it as well. Yep.
Oh, well, they're doing the marketing right then. Well done,
I
Amazon.
love when you see a poster.
Yeah.
I love when you get something out and there's a poster, you kind of go, and you think, I wonder if they just looked up where I live and like they put the posters near the house.
They just
Because I see them.
strategic advertising.
Yeah.
They just put them in the way of your car.
Yeah, yeah.
They're the only ones you ever see.
Okay, so you have a movie coming out. You've got a West End musical. Where do you go on from here? What's next?
Oh, God. Well, I'm working on quite a lot of things at the moment. Lots of little projects bubbling away. But the main thing for me is fashion has always been a really big part of my
These
life.
amazing trousers.
These are from my
These amazing
brand.
trousers. I know, I've actually said these are fantastic.
I love them.
Oh, thanks. So I've always wanted to do it, and then it was during lockdown. I was just like, stuck at home, and I was just like, what am I going to do? Like, I might as well do it. So me, my mum and grandma just got on the sewing machines, and we just made a really small capsule collection, and released them end of last year. So these were all bespoke made, but I'm just working with a new company at the moment to have new things coming out. It's got a few T-shirts coming out, and for Christmas, we're hoping to have a really fabulous dressing gown, but the theme is like royalty. We want you to feel like the queen in your own home. So
I love that. I love that. Well, listen, Jamie, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Good luck with everything you do, the film, the musical, the fashion, the
opera, the TV.
Yay. I need those
you
trousers.
can see the movie of everyone's talking about Jamie from next Friday on Prime Video. Watch it, it's absolutely brilliant. Right, time for a quick break, but when we're back, we're going to be talking all things Texas with Sharleen.
Plus, I'm going to be dragging Martin into the kitchen to rustle up something very special, my pavlova.
Looking forward to that. See you in a bit. Back to Martin and Roman's Weekend Best. Now, sadly, Roman's still isolating at the moment, but Shivi is doing a wonderful job keeping his seat warm. And I'll tell you what, it smells a bit better this side. It does. It does.
Oh, you're so mean. Your son is ill at home.
It stinks.
Do you know what? It is so much fun being on the side of the kitchen counter, I have to say. And we've got Sharleen Spiteri and we've got Jamie Campbell with us. It is just amazing. And also, we're still heading into the kitchen for the last lesson when I want to teach everyone how to make a simple pavlova.
Great, great. But first, you know, listen, I've always wanted to do this, but Roman never let me. I'm going to do it now. Right, you wait. Here at Weekend Best, we like to think that our studios become a safe haven for our guests, somewhere for them to confess their most embarrassing moments in a free Saturday therapy session. Get it off your chest.
And after they've poured their heart out, they can get it off their chest by throwing it into the Weekend Best chest, never to be mentioned again.
Yeah, Jamie, you are first with a big old picture of Madonna.
Oh, my God.
Tell us about this.
Oh, right. So, I mean, obviously I worship the Queen.
Yeah.
And it was just after her unfortunate incident at the Brit Awards when she got pulled over by the cape. Honestly, my heart was in my stomach when I saw that. But then there was a party for her basically the day after, and I got invited there. And it was at Annabelle's in Mayfair, and I'd never been to anything like swanky like this before. So I come out, the taxi door opens, and like all the paparazzi are there, and I'm like, oh, posing away. And then I stumble down the stairs, and they've got all of these drinks, I mean, free bar, but any cocktail you've ever wanted. I've not seen anything like it. So obviously I was taking full advantage of it, knocking them all back.
You would do.
I know, I did. Yeah.
You did.
And then I was just on the dance floor talking to this guy, and then he turns to the side and he goes, oh, Madonna, meet my friend Fifi. I was in drag at the time, so that's why I was Fifi. So I just froze and I was like, I'm living for love. And then she just sort of went, and then walked off. But I mean, that's the most Madonna encounter I could have hoped for, but very embarrassing at the same
Absolutely.
time.
Oh, it's not brilliant, okay.
He's going into the chest.
Oh, bye, Madge.
Never mention it again.
Darlene, tell us about this.
Oh, God. So it all started...
I can see you shiver now.
And I just go, oh... Second gig Texas ever played, we opened up for Fleetwood Mac. And the night before, we had played Dundee University, not in the main hall, in the bar. So I'd only been on stage once. Suddenly we're at the Edinburgh...
Big gig, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Suddenly we get to Edinburgh Playhouse, open up for Fleetwood Mac, and I love Fleetwood Mac. And you're there, sort of like, I hadn't even been on a big stage. And as I was walking around, Christy McVie's piano was there, and it had in giant writing, Edinburgh. And I went, who doesn't know where they are when they're on the stage? Jumped to about 10 years, 15 years later, and I walked on stage and said, good evening, Leon. And everybody started booing. And I was in Lille. And I could see Joy, I could see the rest of the band go, like screaming at me. And I'm like going, because you get your in-ears in you. And I'm going, what? And they're like, so now every time I write it on the...
That is
How did you recover?
I just laughed and I went, oh, shut up. You know, I'm quite cheeky on stage.
Let's chuck it in the chest.
Get rid of my flag.
Get rid of that. There we go.
Now, an unbelievable 32 years on from the debut single, I Don't Want to Love Her, Texas are enjoying a longevity most bands can only dream of.
Yeah, and despite having sold over 40 million records, they have released their 10th studio album, proving that they are far from done yet. Sharleen, thanks so much for coming in today.
But I'm slightly blushing after that.
I mean, can you, when you listen to that, can you quite believe it?
You know what it's like.
10
It's
studio albums, 40 million records sold.
Unbelievable.
Is
but
that
having
what you
this
dreamt of when you started out?
No, I literally just said to Jamie when we sat down, it literally always feels like yesterday. I don't know if you felt that way, but I remember, like, at the beginning, somebody saying, would you think you'd be doing this in 10 years? And, you know, when you're young, somebody says 10 years. 10 years seems like a lifetime. And I went, ha, ha, ha. And here I am. And it really does feel like yesterday it started still to this day. I mean, there's different things that, you know, really, I look at it now and I think, Jesus, I'm really lucky. We've worked our backsides off, but... You know, I feel really, really lucky that we've still had the massive support for the public and buying the records, because without that, I wouldn't be doing it. You know, record companies drop you.
Of course. But listen, congratulations as well. We've got a new album out called High.
It's called... That looks just like me, doesn't it?
That is so fabulous. You're
do you think that's glam?
Yeah.
That is gorgeous.
I can do glam when I try.
Love it. Love it. I think the red socks are glam today as well, by the way.
I did a little bit of red.
I really like that.
Trying.
It started off life a little bit weird, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, originally we were going to do an anniversary record for White on Blonde, and Universal had said, right, we'll go into the archives, and we were looking for like maybe tracks that hadn't been heard or different versions, and we found 3 unfinished songs. The first one of those was a song, one of the singles that's off the album is a song called Mr. Hayes. And Mr. Hayes was unfinished. So what we did was we completed the chorus, put a bridge on it, and added a Donna Summer sample to it. And it was weird because when we were writing, we went, it sounds a bit like Donna Summer. Being a bit lazy, we stuck the sample on, but then the sample fitted exactly, and we went... So we were lucky enough that we already had a relationship with Giorgio Moroder, so we called and said, can we please clear this sample, because we really want to use it.
Yeah, I mean, some samples, though, you know, I've been there and I've done it, where you take a bit of a record and you try it on your record and it sounds so good. When it comes to taking it off...
Yeah, it's so hard.
It's a real letdown.
Yeah, you're like, it needs to stay.
Yeah, it has
you know,
to
it was
stay.
sometimes
You
just
have
like
to
it
go
just
through
makes
with
it takes it to a different level.
Yeah, you also got a new video, You Can Call Me.
Yes, this is a new single, You Can Call Me.
Which you shot completely in your garden.
Yeah, I shot it on my iPhone. I literally shot the whole video, and it's me in my garden with my bees.
Well, you shot it in your garden. I can't wait to see this, because I love looking at people's gardens, what their hydrangeas are doing. This time of year. Let's have a look.
Call me if you want, if you really wanna. You can have my all if you really wanna. Call me if you feel like you wanted more. You can call me. Call me if you want, if you really wanna. You can have my all if you really wanna. Call me if you feel like you wanted more. You can call me.
Lovely.
Is that your little dog?
That's my little dog, Socks.
Oh.
Yeah, and my old Morris Traveller.
But you were beekeeping in there.
Yeah,
Do you
we've
have
got
that in the
bees.
garden?
Yeah, we've got about 25 acres.
Yeah. Wow, that's not a garden, that's a
we're-
farm.
No. Well, it is. We supply, so my husband's a chef and
Right.
we supply all the fruit and veg to the restaurants. So, yeah, we've got a whole thing. And then we were doing bees. We started doing bees over lockdown. And so we've got 5 hives now and we've just got the honey from that is like off the chart.
Wow, because beekeeping, it's not very rock and roll, is it? You know, it's quite unusual.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like, we've been trying to like do the whole thing with like look after the land and lay hedges.
Hold on.
And do all that.
Hold on a minute. That is not... Charlene started a trend. Beyonce's beekeeping now, I see. So Charlene has started a trend.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
It's so rock and roll.
Yeah, she called me and she was like, that, seriously?
No, she's called Queen Bee.
No, she's actually looking after bees. She's not looking after bees. She's got a beekeeper.
I'd be honest, I have a beekeeper as well.
Yeah.
Just to get competitive. No, but no, it's you know, I think at the point, especially when you get kids and everything, there's a different... You move on to a different plane. I like pottering in the garden, digging holes and planting
Me
things.
too.
and-
I love it.
I love it.
In the garden. Love it.
Absolutely love the garden.
Yeah.
And Charlene, so the group are getting back together. You're going on a UK tour next year?
We've literally, I came on the sleeper this morning to you guys, which was very glamorous. They actually held the sleeper for me when I came off stage. So we were playing the album, we were doing a complete album, the High album, and acoustically, and then 2022, February, we go on tour, full big old Texas. It's got 2 halves to the show. We'll play the very first album from beginning to end in the first half, so South Side we played, and then it'll go into the next half, which is all the other stuff after.
Yeah. Do you always find it hard when you have to play new songs on stage to the audience?
Well, it was weird because that's what we've literally just done, and we decided to play the whole album.
Yeah.
But people loved it. We did it really laid back, like stripped right back, so as people could really hear the lyrics and the songs and how it was written, and it really, really worked. We've just done 5 shows and people loved it.
I always found it so difficult. The worst
Remembering it.
worst thing Spandau ever did, we were playing Live Aid, right? And then we got to play 3 songs, and one of the songs, right, you've got to imagine, 100,000 people out there, all in Wembley Stadium,
remember watching
2
it.
billion people watching around the world, and then Tony goes, now we're going to play a new song, and all their shoulders went down at once. They went,
Yeah, but
was
come
the
on,
worst thing.
Live Aid is not the place to play a new song. It's
Yeah,
not the
it was
way to
wrong.
do it. It's about like, you know, whenever you see anybody doing that and you go like that, maybe you shouldn't have done
It was the wrong time.
It's just the hits.
Do you know what it
get
was?
3 songs,
Yeah.
don't do the new song in the set.
it was our ego. That's what it was.
It always is.
Oh, you didn't have egos, did you?
Do you know any musician? I don't know a musician that doesn't have an ego.
Yeah, it's lucky Roman's not here. Sharleen, thank you so much for coming on the show and spending your morning with us. Absolutely brilliant. Sharleen Spiteri, everyone. Yeah, and the album High is out now, so go out and get it.
And after the break, we're heading back to the kitchen so we can show everyone how to make a delicious pavlova.
Yeah, I can't wait. See you in a few minutes. Welcome back to Martin and Roman's Weekend Best. We have moved into the kitchen, and Shivi, it's time for us to put our chef's hat on again. What are we making today?
So, you seem quite upbeat. I'm actually quite emotional here, Martin.
Why?
It's the end of the series. It's the last cook of
enough
the series.
that. Let's get on.
We're going out with a bang, Martin. It's
Yeah.
all about my perfect pavlova.
Oh, Shivi's perfect pavlova. I love a bit of pavlova. Love it. You
Quite
can't go wrong.
celebratory. You can't go wrong. It looks incredible.
Yeah.
Well, you can go wrong, but we'll come to that later. I've got a couple of tips for you then.
I'm sure I can go wrong somewhere.
No, not today. This is your day,
That's
Martin.
enough.
This is your
I heard you
time.
over there, sniggering, just because Ro's not here.
No, do you know what? This is your time to shine today, Martin. I can feel it.
Yeah.
I can feel it.
Yeah,
It's
I can
going
feel
to be a
it.
winner.
Come on.
So I know you love a bit of tracing paper, isn't that
I do,
so?
yeah.
So look, of course I had to put tracing paper on for you today. Pavlova, we're going to make a little template for the pavlova.
Right.
So I've got a dinner plate, standard size, on the tracing paper, or baking paper, should I say, and just use your pen and go all the way around, like that.
Yep.
Remove that plate, and that is going to be the base for which we're going to smooth our meringue onto. And just flip it over, Martin. It's important to flip it over so you don't get pen on your pavlova.
Yeah, that's right. Otherwise, you get a big black mark going underneath, and it will spread as well. So all the edges will just be ink.
But it's great. It's great if you're doing a goth pavlova, which is quite a cool.
Yeah, that's quite good.
Halloween. Remember
Yeah,
that
but
for Halloween.
it'll poison you as well, so you've got to be careful.
That's not so good. No, that's not
Yeah.
so good. So pavlovas, do you know it was invented for the Russian ballerina Anna Pavlova?
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it is. Apparently so. You know, there's always these hotly debated origins, and the idea is it's beautiful, it's finesse, it's spectacular looking, and I'm going to show you how it's actually very uncomplicated.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Like that.
So egg whites
Yep.
is the base of our
Right.
meringue.
Yeah.
I've got 4 egg whites we're going to use. 3 egg whites are already in our bowl.
Yep.
And then we're going to separate the last one.
Right.
Okay? So grab your egg, grab the egg yolk bowl and an empty bowl.
Yep.
So the whole point of that pavlova base, that lovely, cloudy, fluffy base, is
Yeah.
about the air bubbles in our egg whites. We want them to be stable, and to stop them from collapsing, you need to make sure, firstly, your bowl, your mixing bowl, is completely clean. And then we're going to separate the eggs in a separate bowl.
Right.
So
Because when I've done this before, and the bowl not only has to be clean, it has to be super dry.
super dry, yep.
If you get a little bit of water in there, then it goes wrong, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And look, so I've got my egg yolks here that we're not going to waste. You know, we don't like waste in this kitchen, Martin. This can go into the freezer.
Are you watching this, Shiv? Look. There you go.
Look at you.
Right,
It's
there you
been
go. Right, what am I doing with
It's
this?
been a good... So put the egg yolk into the other bowl here. Let me just...
Right,
Yeah.
in there, that
Yeah.
goes in there, yeah.
I know this is a skill you've learnt over the last 6 months, surely, Martin.
Yep.
So I was just saying the egg yolks, don't bin them. Freeze this with a pinch of salt or sugar, whisk it, use it for custards, thickening sauces.
This is the end of the series, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's no room left in that freezer now.
You'd be
We freeze
surprised,
everything.
Martin. You'd be surprised. I'm Marie Kondo with that.
Right.
Um,
In there.
Now you take your egg white, the last one, and pop that into the mixing bowl. So you see, if you had gone straight into the mixing bowl with that egg white and a little bit of egg yolk had gone in there, game over, right? You
Yeah,
have to start
yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Raw egg, just give our hands a little wash. Okay, so clean bowl, only egg whites in here. Now the whisking. So another key is to incorporate sugar gradually. But
Yeah.
before we incorporate the sugar, we're going to just, on a medium heat, get this to a light, frothy consistency.
When I use this thing, I always want to stir it, but you don't have to, do you?
You don't have to, but I love it because I think it's still incorporating more air. The idea is this has got to get light and
Yeah.
fluffy. All right. When it's about that level,
Yeah.
I'm going to slowly add 200 grams of caster sugar.
Right.
Again, gradually. If you dump the whole lot in, the air bubbles are going to collapse.
Yeah.
Okay, so just gradually. And bring your speed up now, Martin, to a little higher. And once all of that sugar is in, we're going to need to go with this. probably-
What'd you say? Getting out of control.
No, can you hear me now? Oh, I'm not shouting again. So now we're going to go for another about 3 to 4 minutes until that is really thick and stiff and glossy.
Yeah. So you want a bit of TV magic?
Please.
All right.
Martin, stop it there a
Stop it.
second.
Right.
Now, so at this stage, that is looking incredible.
Yep.
We've got a tablespoon of corn flour that's going to help stabilise those air bubbles
Right.
so they don't drop again. In that goes. And also a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And again, just a really quick whisk,
What was this?
vanilla extract.
Oh, nice.
A little bit of flavour. And there we go. That, look at that. Just gorgeous. I think that's good, Martin.
Wow.
Now,
Right.
so corn flour's gone in here to stabilise. We've got
Yep.
the vanilla extract in. Those peaks are looking glossy and stiff. Do you know what, Martin? Because it's weekend best, we'll have a challenge. Let's test how well you whisked the egg whites. We're going to hold our bowls over our head. If you've done it perfectly, it's going to stay in the bowl. If it's a bit below par, you're going to have a new hair gel. Okay?
Yeah, but I've been below par the whole season, you know, so I mean...
Well, back yourself, back yourself.
I'm on to a loser, aren't I?
Well, I'll tell you what, let's see who can hold it over their head for the longest, okay?
Go on
Who's
in.
going to be brave?
Go on in.
Ooh!
Hey! That's long enough.
See? You've come away with a perfect meringue.
Hey, I like it.
So now what we're going to do, Martin, is we're going to use this meringue
Yep.
and pile it onto our circular template. You're a bit of a dab hand at art, aren't you, with your tracing paper?
I love a bit of art.
Well, this is the perfect dish for you because once this goes into bake, it's all about your artistry. Okay, so what you also try to do is hollow out a little bit in the middle,
Yep.
like that. Now, the thing about egg whites is you don't want to leave them on the counter for too long because guess what happens to those air bubbles?
They die away, don't they?
They die away, and we do not want that happening.
Yeah.
And just hollow it out a little bit in the middle.
Look at that.
Gorgeous.
Great stuff.
It's therapeutic, isn't it? Okay, so now that is ready to go into the oven. I've got the oven preheated to 130 degrees.
Yep.
It's going to stay in for an hour. And once that hour is complete, you're going to turn the oven off and leave it to cool completely.
Oh, so it stands in the
It's
oven?
going to stand in there. That
Okay.
is the way to stop it from cracking.
Great.
Nobody wants a cracked meringue. So in that goes. After you, Martin. Gorgeous. Oh, you've gone for...
I've gone for what? Oh, I can see it. I know that look.
not saying a thing.
That look means that's a bit dodgy.
Nope, not saying a thing, Martin. And then the meringues on top have been cooled completely. Look at that.
Great.
So here we are.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
Wow, I've got to tell you something. That looks amazing.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Absolutely amazing.
so do you see what I mean about ballerina-like? It is like a tutu. So what I'm going to do now is carefully transfer it.
Right. This is the old dodgy bit, isn't it?
This is the dodgy bit. But I'll tell you a little trick.
Yeah.
Right, so first, peel it away from the baking paper. There we go, yep. Coax it away gently. Do you know what? The worst thing that can happen here is that the meringue cracks, right?
Yep.
And then you know what? Turn it into an eaten mess.
Got it.
Don't stress, there's
Who
nothing to
wasn't
stress
a
about.
ballet dancer?
Definitely not. Probably a rugby player, right?
Yeah.
With all that crash, bang, wallop. Look at that.
Absolutely.
Have you managed? Go on. I'm rooting for you, Martin. I'm rooting for you. My heart is pounding.
It's coming. It's coming. There we go. There we go.
Whew, well done, Martin. So, pavlova, you've got the meringue base, you've got a whipped cream, and then you've got a fruit topping. The whipped cream here is 400 mils of double cream, whipped with 2 tablespoons of caster sugar to form soft peaks.
Yeah.
So this is going to be our filling. So just pile that in. A good tip when you're whipping cream, if you over whip it,
Yeah.
just add some unwhipped cream. Give it a little stir, and that should bring it back to a soft state. So cream's in there. Now,
Yep.
I've got this gorgeous plate of berries. We're coming to the end of the season of berries. Not only the end of the season of this series, but also berry season. So this is like a berry swan song. Now, I know you're artistic, Martin, so you can have lots of fun piling all that fruit up in here.
Oh.
And you know what? Pavlovas are a great way to use up fruit that looks a bit sad. You can hide them in the middle of the berries. I've also used some of the sadder berries to make a little fruit sauce for us here, and I've just made this by mashing the fruit with a fork.
Yeah, yeah.
No fancy equipment for that.
What, you don't put sugar in that?
Nah. Do you know what? There's so much sweetness already in that double cream, in the meringue. We don't need any more. We're sweet enough as it is, Martin.
Great.
So pile that in there. That is looking gorgeous. And if you didn't want to use berries, you can use peaches. You can use tinned peaches, mango, papaya. All right, there we go. That's looking great for me. I'm very happy with that. Now, the lovely berry juice going there. Now, I love my pavlova to be a bit drippy. Look at this. So it starts dripping off the side.
Yeah. I've already put mine on. but it's kind of like, it will be a drip.
Oh, okay, yeah. But you've got passion fruit you can do that with as well.
Yeah.
There is something so celebratory about pavlovas. What is it? Ooh, it's a berry. What is it about pavlovas that just scream happiness and...
Oh, loving your drips down the side,
I know.
see?
I've thought about this.
didn't
I've done this
wait.
before.
I went too soon.
I've done this before. Okay, now passion fruit.
Yeah.
You can squeeze, and you can use a spoon to just help pull out those lovely pulpy seeds. Again, this is a bit extra. You don't have to do this, but I think it looks so lovely. The contrasting colours, and also it's a slightly tartar flavour.
Yeah, see, I love a bit of passion fruit.
And also, you see, I've got a plate here, especially for you, of a host of extra toppings, so you can go to town.
I can see that. I'm doing it.
You are, and you're enjoying it. Look at that big
Yeah,
smile on your face.
It's a bit like being back at school, this, and I'm loving it.
Do you know what? I'm going to go all out with this. I said I wasn't going to use these little tiny stars, but I am.
The only
I
thing I can't get my head around on this plate, though, is the old pomegranates.
Oh!
Because, no, I love pomegranate, the taste of it, but it's the seeds inside. Drive me insane. You don't eat the seeds, do you?
You can eat the seeds. Of course you can.
All in your teeth and stuff.
No, I love it. It's added texture. Now, I've gone a bit crazy with the stars here. You don't have to put the stars on. You can keep it a bit healthier, a bit fresher, a bit smarter.
Yeah, I'm keeping mine natural.
I've gone a bit zany, I have to admit. I'm sorry. I'm just, it's, you know, it's the last day, it's the last series episode thing. It's bringing it out of me. But I am going to go really flary with this.
Oh.
There we go. In the middle. Do you know what? A little bit of a crazy party, right?
Here's a starship just for you.
Well, thank you. This isn't good. Here we go.
It's going, here we go.
Look at that. Oh, how gorgeous.
Look at that. That is absolutely amazing.
Yes.
Love that. Look at that.
It is stunning.
Absolutely incredible.
It's just happy, right? And would
Yeah.
you believe, Martin, a portion, so this feeds about 6 people, a portion is going to come in at about £1.50.
Right.
And that's pretty much 5 of your fruit and veg for a day, right?
That is amazing. Shiv, this is absolutely incredible. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to box it up and I'm going to take it round to Roman's door and leave it just far enough away so that he can only see it through the letterbox, just to wind him up.
That is brilliant.
Yeah.
But can you give him also the egg whites and make sure that's shoved right close to the door so you can have a go at doing that, throwing it over his head?
Absolutely will. Listen, it has been absolutely wonderful working with you over the last few months. It really has.
Oh, I've loved it.
I've learnt so much. I'm not the best cook in the world, but I've learnt a lot.
I think you've learned an incredible amount, and look at what you've made today. It's brilliant.
Fantastic. All right, for all the details on how to make Shivi's perfect pavlova, head over to itv.com/food. Time for a break, but don't go anywhere, because we have got some top TV recommendations coming your way. See you soon. Welcome back to Martin and Roman's Weekend Best. Now, if you've only just joined us, sadly, Roman is still isolating, so Shivi is keeping me company throughout the show this morning, doing a great job as well.
Thank you. Well, I'm loving being here. I can't believe I'm sitting on this side of the kitchen saying lines like Sharleen Spiteri and Jamie Campbell have been keeping us company all morning. I mean, madness. Also, how are you guys enjoying this pavlova? Good. Do you think Bryn would have this in his restaurant?
Yeah, of course.
Anytime.
Wow, Shiv, that is amazing. I've got to tell you.
It's yours, Martin.
If you are looking for some fantastic TV recommendations, then look no further, because here is our best picks. My pick this week is the documentary series Untold, which looks at the fascinating stories from the world of sport. One of the episodes follows Caitlyn Jenner's incredible journey to Olympic history and how her career kind of influenced her decision to transition. Rowan and I have both seen this. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It is absolutely brilliant. The most inspiring documentary I have ever seen. I mean, it's just outstanding. Let's have a look at the trailer.
I've just always dealt with confusion in my soul. But when sports came around, it became the place where I could shine. That changed everything. So I built this Bruce character. And I trained 365 days out of the year because I needed to prove myself. The winner of the decathlon is the greatest athlete in the world. They give you that title. That's what I want right there.
That is so good. I can't recommend it enough. Honestly, when I watched that, I wanted to run around the block. You know, it's so good. That is on Netflix now. Yeah. Shiv?
So my pick is a little bit more light. It's a bit of family fun. It's a game show that starts tonight. It's called Paul O'Grady's Saturday Night Lineup. It's celebs being pitted against each other. It's a little bit of a laugh. It's quite fun. Right, let's have a little tease.
Time now for the quick fire rounds, yeah? And you've got 10 seconds to decide your place in the lineup. So you ready, folks? OK. Here's your first question. Who's the cleverest? 10 seconds.
I'm gonna go from
Did it.
No, the thing that you're
You've got 10 seconds. 10 seconds. OK. Time's up. Let's see who the public think is the cleverest. Let's have a look. Ow! You got it right.
It's a good idea, that show. I like it.
It's going to be some awkward moments, right? I can sense that. So that's Paul O'Grady's Saturday Night Lineup, and it starts tonight at 9:35 p.m. on ITV.
Yeah. Time now to meet our last weekend best VIP of the series.
And what a VIP she is, Martin. Beaming in live all the way from LA to tell us about her incredible story. Please welcome belly dancing extraordinaire Noor Jahan Bolden.
Noor Jahan. Oh, listen, thank you so much for coming on the show. So you're a belly dancer. How long have you been doing that?
I've been belly dancing since the day that I could walk. So my mom, her sisters, my grandmother, my great-grandmother, all belly danced. It was passed down from woman to woman in my family. Wow. And in my culture, we actually practice belly dance as a form of connection and community with other women. So I've been going to belly dancing parties since I was a little baby when my mom used to host them when I was little, and now I host my own.
So Noor Jahan, you had always wanted to be a professional dancer then. It sounds like it's passed down generations, but something happened when you were 21. Can you tell us a bit about that?
The summer before my senior year, I went to a wedding in Toronto, Canada, and we went out one night to a nightclub, and there was a random shooting that took place. Somebody brought an assault rifle into the nightclub.
Oh.
And I was shot in the leg with an assault rifle. The man next to me was killed, and another man was shot in the foot.
Oh my goodness!
And so after that, it took me a long time to get back on my feet again in the aftermath.
I mean, how do you find your love of dancing again after something like that? I mean, how long did it take you to recover?
It took me a long time. I tried to dance after that, and my bone just kept deteriorating. So my tibia was shattered. And the doctors just kept saying, every time I went, and I kept saying, you know, it feels like my bone is still broken and it's getting worse and worse. And it took me 8 years before I found a doctor who actually sat down and listened to what I was saying and did a CT and realized that I actually had a hole in my bone in the place where I got shot. It had never fully formed. It was a bone non-union. And so I got a rod and screws in my leg 8 years after my shooting. Yeah. And still struggled to run and walk after that because of all the, you know, the physical and emotional trauma. From
yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's not just the physical trauma, is it? It's the emotional stuff. How do you get from that kind of emotional state that you would have been in for 8 years to finding yourself being able to get up and dance again?
So I used to get really inspired to, you know, I'm going to figure out how to run now. I can do this. I'm going to figure out how to get back on my feet. And every 6 months or so, I'd get really inspired. I'd go outside, I'd start, and I'd get really upset and I'd get mad at my leg because it just hurt like hell even after the surgery. And my doctor kept saying, you know, your leg's made of titanium now, you can do anything. But it didn't feel like that. It still felt broken. So one day, I was going outside and I was like, you know what? I'm going to figure it out this time. I'm going to run. I know I can do it. It's a beautiful day. I went outside, went on the sidewalk and started running, and it hurt like hell. And I thought, there it goes again. I'm just going to have to give up. But I was listening to my headphones and I was listening to some really good music. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to give up. I'm going to figure out a way to do this. What if instead of trying to run, I just tried to dance down the street sideways because my right leg was hurting, and just kind of pop dance, flailing my arms and legs. You know, I wanted to get that rigorous workout that you get when you run or you dance or you do something that feels that big burst, you know? Yeah. And I did it, and I can't even imagine what I looked like, but I told myself that every car that was going by, I did it on one of the busiest streets in the city I live. And I just told myself that every person that was driving by me knew my story. That they knew what I had been through and that they were cheering for me.
Absolutely
great. That is lovely. Do you think you can teach us a few moves, some basics?
Yes! I thought you'd never ask. I would love to.
Yeah, go on then. Go on then. What am I doing?
We're going to dive right in, okay? I've already given you the background on belly dance. I'm going to teach you. One of my favorite parts about belly dance, everyone thinks it's just these moves that you have to do in such a way.
Hang on a minute.
Yes, you rest.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Do you know what, guys? You two are dancing. Come on, up, up. Come on, come on. Shiv, get up out your chair.
It's the end of the series, Sharleen. Let's do it.
Come on, let's do this. Right, here we go. Right, we're all doing it now. Okay. We've all got eye contact. Let's have a little bit of music. Here we go. Right, here we go.
There we go.
Nod your hand, show us what's...
What do we do, Nod your hand?
Okay, ready?
Really
yeah.
The last piece, really quickly, for the sensuality is about changing your tempo. So going fast and then slow and fast and though, because O is the hard part. It's
I
vulnerable.
suddenly feel like myself.
You've got it going on.
It's
We'll
the eye
start with the
contact thing that I
hits.
think is
Ready?
really difficult.
I don't know whether to make eye contact with the screen or do
Hey! Nod your hand. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us today. Absolute pleasure. I love a little bit of exercise in the morning. Absolute
Thank you so
pleasure.
much.
Shirley will appreciate that later.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to take it home and show her, I'll tell you that. Nod your hand bowling, everyone. That's your lot for today, but if you fancy watching us all over again or you missed any of the show, catch up now on the ITV Hub. Thanks so much to our guests. We've got Sharleen Spiteri.
Jamie Campbell.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, Shivi. I am going to be back tomorrow for the last show of the series. All right, that's enough of it. Enough last shows. All right, yep, we know. And hopefully Roman is going to find a way to join us.
And you've got some more brilliant guests, Taskmasters Alex Horn, Emmerdale's Susan Cookson and Danny O'Donoghue from The Script.
Yeah, see you tomorrow.